Ladies and gentlemen, let the road to WrestleMania begin. Tonight, the superstars of the WWE begins the road to New Orleans by making their first stop in Philadelphia, the first major pay-per-view of 2018, and more importantly, one of the biggest nights in wrestling. This was historic. This was massive. And at the end of the evening, not one, but two lives has been changed forever in the Royal Rumble. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a special edition of the Wrestling Forum as we are going to recap the 2018 WWE Royal Rumble event, which went down live from the Wells Fargo Arena in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, exclusively on the WWE Network and on all major pay-per-view providers. And let me just say, guys, this was a night to remember. So we started the Royal Rumble event off, well, with three pre-show fights, and we're gonna gloss over it pretty quickly, and then we'll get into the main card. But the first fight of the night from the 205 Live setup, it was Kalisto, Gran Metalik, and Lince Dorado going up against the Gentlemen, Jack Gallagher, Drew Gulak, and TJP. And when it was all said and done, the winners of the bout in 13 minutes and 20 seconds, Kalisto, Gran Metalik, and Lince Dorado. So, Anthony Floyo, give me just a brief thought about this match. From what I've heard, it was actually a pretty decent fight.
Absolutely was. 3 to 3.25 stars. That's my rating for that. I mean, if I'm going to be real honest with you, out of the three pre-show matches, my guys from 205 Live stole the show. And for the first time in a long time, I can honestly say things are finally looking up for 205 Live. And I cannot wait for Tuesday night. And tomorrow night, I'm ridiculously raw. When I do my Tony's take on 205 Live, get ready for a positive review. Move on.
All right. Michael Bullock, do you want to take a quick glance over it, a once over, or do you want to just move on?
I'll give a quick thought on it.
Okay.
I'll give it about 2.5 to 3 stars. I mean, I thought it was the best of the three pre-show fights, and yeah, nice showcase for the cruiserweights, and maybe things are looking up. So nothing more to say. So let's move on to the next pre-show fight, Fletch.
All right, and it came from Monday Night Raw, as it was Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson, the Revival, as they went up against Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, the Good Brothers. Well, unfortunately, it was not a good evening for the Good Brothers, as the Revival gets the victory at 9 minutes and 10 seconds. And a quick thought, if you want to give it.
Solid 2-star match. I think it was a slight step up from the Raw 25. Well, definitely a lot better than the Raw 25 match, because that was basically a burial of the Revival. But nice to see the Revival get it back. So maybe we could be on the verge of a nice little program here between two teams I'm very high on Monday Night Raw, and definitely possible contenders for the Raw Tag Team Championship. So solid 2.
Okay. Michael Bullock, do you want to give your thoughts?
Yeah, I'll give it a quick 2 stars as well. I mean, this was definitely better than the Raw 25 match. I do agree on that. So,
all right.
So, are we going to give it to Dee Woodson now?
Dee, do you want to put in your 2 cents?
I'll give it 1 3/4 star.
All right. And we're going to go off to the final pre-show fight of the night before we get into the big stuff, which was the United States Heavyweight Championship Open Challenge by the reigning champion Bobby Roode. A lot of people were wondering who was going to be the guy to take the fight, and it ended up being Mojo Rawley, of all people, the winner of the bout at 7 minutes and 45 seconds, and successfully defending the WWE United States Championship, the glorious Bobby Roode. So, Michael Bullock, give me a quick thought about the match.
I'll give it about 1.5 stars as my rating on the match. I mean, it was good for what it was. It's good to see the U.S. Open challenge back. So, I mean, it wasn't a good start, but hey, I mean, hopefully we'll start to see some more good matches now with the United States Open challenges back up and running, and they definitely want to make this U.S. title prestige again, and this would be a good way to do it. Even though the match was fine, I mean, it could have been better. So 1.5 stars is my rating. Dee, what's in a quick thought?
I'll agree. About all I'll say about it.
All right, Anthony.
1 3/4 to 2.
All right, now it's time, guys. Strap in, get ready. We're going to have a lot of fun from here on out. The first official match of the 2018 Royal Rumble event was the handicap match for the WWE Championship. That's right. The big belt started the show. It was AJ Styles putting the title on the line against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And when it was all said and done, the winner of the match by approximately 15 minutes, 55 seconds, and still WWE Champion, the phenomenal AJ Styles. He wins the match. Anthony Florio, you lead off.
I'll tell you, MF. I gotta say, I'll tell you, MF. I'm surprised you didn't throw out the old SRO sign a bit, but nonetheless, I was pleasantly surprised. I thought this was going to be a cluster bleep of a match. I thought it was going to be a train wreck of a match. I had no excitement about this match whatsoever. But these guys actually put on a halfway decent handicap match. And I got to say, it's one of the better handicap matches I've ever seen. With that being said, I'm going to give this a solid 3 1/4 stars. Very surprising way and a very good way to start it off. First time since the 2016 No Mercy pay-per-view that the WWE Championship actually kicked things off of the event was the cat-up jump for this event. So, yeah, it's not often we hear that the WWE Championship is the first match of the night, but unbelievable. So, yeah, KO, he's battling injuries. He's battling a back injury from what I know. I'm kind of surprised he competed in this, but at the same time, I'm really not. But all I can say was this was one of the better handicap matches I've seen, and they surprised me. They really surprised me. However, though, there is possibly some controversy that came out of this because the rules stated that Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens had to tag in and out, and AJ deposited Sami over the top into the floor. Kevin Owens then came in. He was going to go for the pop-up powerbomb, but AJ countered it into a beautiful victory roll type maneuver for the 1, 2, 3. The backstage moment where Owens and Zayn were whining and crying to Shane O'Mac. They're like, "Did you see that? Did you see that?" And Shane simply just said, "Yep," and that was it. So there might be some controversy going into Tuesday night SmackDown Live. So we're gonna have to keep a close eye on that. But for what I saw, pleasant surprise. That's all I can say on that. I thought there was going to be a lot of clunkiness. I thought there was going to be some interference. I thought maybe Shayna or Daniel were going to get involved, continue the power struggle. But thankfully, no nonsense in this match. And thankfully, we got the outcome that we wanted. Because if we didn't, MF was going to have to put on the age restriction on this broadcast. So nothing more to say. Solid 3 1/4 stars for my efforts. So I could probably say sleeper fight of the night if I'm going to be real honest with you. So really nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, Thankfully, no Phenom rant tonight. I mean, we got the outcome that we wanted. I mean, you more than anybody did not want to see Owens and Zayn win the title. Praise God, because he answered our prayer tonight.
Thank goodness. Yeah, so no Phenom rant tonight, people. So that's a good thing. So, what did you give this match, Florio?
I gave it a solid 3.25 stars there, Bullock. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I agree with the rating, 3.25 stars. I mean, this turned out to be a really good handicap match. I mean, going into it, I mean, I really wasn't too high on it, but it turned out much better than what I expected. So, yeah, so AJ Styles retains the title, so nothing more to say. Dee Woodson, I give it to you.
Yeah, I agree. 3.25 stars. And trust me, I would have been with Bullock there on the rant if it would have went the other way around. So, not much more I'm going to say about it. So, back to you, Fletcher.
All right, and we got the next fight of the night, which was for the 2 out of 3 falls for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship, the Usos versus Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin. And in a little bit of a shocker here, this ended in 2 falls. This did not go the maximum 3 that we all predicted. The winners of the bout, and still SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, wins in 2 consecutive falls. Like I said, the third fall was not needed. Michael Bullock, surprise? Stunner? I think so.
Yeah, this was definitely a stunner. No doubt about it. I mean, because going into this, we all thought it was going to be, this was going to go the distance, but nope, that wasn't the case. So, I mean, I'm going to give it about maybe, wow, I mean, I don't know how to rate this match, especially after, I'll tell you what, if it went the distance, I probably would have given it a higher rating, but because of it didn't go the distance, I'm going to have to lower it just a little bit to maybe 2.5 stars, which is what I think, but if I got it wrong, then I do apologize. So, yeah, it's just been a long day for me, people. I mean, if I got it wrong, so nothing more to say. Dee Woodson, what do you think? Do you have it higher? Do you have it lower?
I have it a bit higher. I would about 3.5 because it was still a fair match. I mean, I really am surprised, that Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin didn't really get much out of the match, but it was still, in my opinion, a fairly good match. So, not much more I had to say about it. So, Florio, it's yours.
I'm going to consider this the third best fight of the night. I'm going to give this 3.5 stars for the effort, mainly because of that first fall. I mean, that first fall was amazing. I mean, they went back and forth. I am disappointed. I mean, I'm fine with the outcome. I mean, I don't have a problem with the Usos winning, but it was just the way it happened. I mean, 2 straight falls. I mean, I was a little bit let down, if I'm going to be real honest with you, but because of the amazing action of that first fall, that's why I have to give it 3.5 stars. It would have been higher if it had gone the distance, but man, I never thought it would end in 2 straight falls, but it did. Obviously, they wanted to make time for some other matches, if you know what I mean. So, really nothing left for me to say on this. I'm going to give this 3.5 stars. I'm going to consider this the third best fight of the night. I think you know where I'm going with the other 2, and we're about to. I don't think there's anything else for me to say except MF. I think it's time.
It's time to rumble.
Royal Rumble.
It is time to rumble.
Very surprising.
Yes. Yes. Because it was the men first.
Wow.
The men got started the Royal Rumble first, which meant the women would be a little bit later in the evening. We'll get into that in a little bit. But let's go through it all. The 30-man over-the-top Royal Rumble match. The winner goes to WrestleMania to fight the champion of his choice. And you want to talk about a star-studded lineup. I mean, okay, let's begin. So, the Royal Rumble started with Rusev from SmackDown and Finn Balor from Monday Night Raw. Number 3, Rhino from Raw. Number 4 was Baron Corbin, SmackDown. Number 5, Heath Slater. Number 6, Elias, both from Monday Night Raw. Number 7, a surprise NXT champion, Andres Cien Almas, was number 7. Number 8, Shinsuke was Bray Wyatt, Monday Night Raw. Number 9, Big E, SmackDown. Number 10, Sami Zayn, SmackDown. Number 11, Sheamus, Monday Night Raw. Number 12, Xavier Woods from SmackDown. Number 13, Apollo Crews from Monday Night Raw. Number 14 was Shinsuke Nakamura, SmackDown. Number 15 was Cesaro from Monday Night Raw. 16, Kofi Kingston. 17, Jinder Mahal, both from SmackDown. Number 18, Seth Rollins. Number 19, Woken Matt Hardy from Monday Night Raw. Number 20, John Cena. Number 21, a surprise, the Hurricane. Number 22, Aiden English, SmackDown Live. Number 23, Adam Cole, baby. He representing NXT. Number 24, the winner of last year's Royal Rumble, Randy Orton, SmackDown Live. Number 25 was Titus O'Neil, Monday Night Raw. 26, The Miz, Monday Night Raw. Number 27, a stunner, Rey Mysterio Jr. makes his return. Number 28 was Roman Reigns. Number 29 was Goldust. And the 30th and final entrant of the Royal Rumble was Dolph Ziggler. Now, the order of eliminations goes as follows. The first man eliminated was Rhino. The second one out was Baron Corbin. Sheamus got eliminated 3rd. Heath Slater eliminated 4th. Sami Zayn was eliminated 5th. The 6th man out was Apollo Crews. The 7th man out was Xavier Woods. Number 8 was Big E Langston. They both were eliminated by Jinder Mahal. Cesaro was the 9th man eliminated. Then Jinder Mahal got eliminated 10th. Number 11 was Kofi Kingston. Rusev was eliminated number 12. Bray Wyatt eliminated 13th. The 14th eliminated was Matt Hardy. Elias went out the 15th. Hurricane was eliminated 16th because of John Cena. Aiden English eliminated in the 17th position. Andres Cien Almas eliminated in the 18th position, eliminated by Randy Orton. Adam Cole eliminated by Rey Mysterio Jr. in the 19th spot. The 20th spot was Titus O'Neil, thanks to Roman Reigns. Miz eliminated 21st due to the collection of Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. Then Seth Rollins got eliminated by Roman Reigns in the 22nd spot. Goldust eliminated by Dolph Ziggler in the 23rd spot. Ziggler got eliminated 24th by Finn Balor. Randy Orton 25th, eliminated by Roman Reigns. That means we were going to have a brand new winner in this Royal Rumble. Rey Mysterio eliminated by Finn Balor in the 26th spot. Balor eliminated by John Cena. And then Cena eliminated by Shinsuke Nakamura. That led to Roman Reigns and Shinsuke Nakamura at the end. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the 2018 WWE Royal Rumble match is, representing SmackDown Live, the King of the Strong Style, the Artist, formerly known as Shinsuke Nakamura. He wins the Royal Rumble match in 1 hour, 5 minutes, and 35 seconds. Nakamura lasted 44 minutes and 4 seconds to win the Royal Rumble. Dee Woodson, after all that, Nakamura is going to WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah. I think it's awesome. I know I wasn't on the show when you all did the pick, y'all's predictions, but he was one of the ones that I had predicted to because I had it down to either him or Finn Balor. So he's one of the two I had to win the men's Rumble, and so this was definitely an awesome Rumble. I don't think we've ever really had a Rumble where you had to really rank it too low. But this one, I'm gonna give it 4 stars because this was still really good. Several surprises. I wasn't expecting Hurricane to be in there for one. So a lot, and a little shenanigans going on there on Ty Dillinger getting attacked from KO and Zayn deciding that he was going to throw himself into the match. But other than that, it was an awesome Rumble. Definitely kept your attention through the whole thing. So not much more I have to say about it. Florio, it's yours.
With all due respect, Dee Woodson, I think you underscored this just a little bit. I'm going to be quite honest with you. Fight of the night. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about this. I got to say this was the fight of the night. There's nothing more I can say on this except this. This was one of the greatest Royal Rumble matches of all time. Last time the Royal Rumble was in Philly, you can make an argument that it might have been the worst Royal Rumble match of all time. Roman won it. The place lost their mind, not in a good way. But this time around, the place lost their mind, but this time in a good way. Because they got the one they wanted. They wanted Nakamura to get the moment, and boy howdy, he got it. 4.5 to 5 stars. Wow. Okay. Let me say it like this. Excellent Rumble match. Not only one of the best in recent years, and possibly now, this goes into my top 5 all time. Whoever booked this, I got to give kudos. Really good job, whoever laid all this out. The Heath Slater bit was fun. Andrade Cien Almas, he got a good run. Finn Balor, the Iron Man. Rey Mysterio, spectacular surprise. He looks to be in great shape. And if he's in for a run, only because I want to see him and AJ Styles go at it. I'm kind of hoping he goes back to SmackDown Live because, after all, he was a big part of SmackDown in the early years. One of the original SmackDown 6, as you all know. And I think I just put a tear in MF's eye bringing that up because I know how much he loved the SmackDown 6. But anywho, I thought the booking to get to the final 6 in this Rumble match, Balor, Nakamura, Reigns, Mysterio, Orton, Cena, worked extremely well. You had guys that were over, guys the fans wanted to win, and just as important, guys the fans did not want to see win and wanted them to lose in the worst way possible. Up until this match, Nakamura's run in WWE had been less than spectacular. It was average, mediocre, and disappointing, especially getting fed to Jinder Mahal on 2 occasions. But this was a great rehab match for him. He was over huge, worked his ass off. The fans, including all of us, wanted him to win this match. And all in all, this was great stuff and a ton of fun. And we didn't have to wait any longer. We didn't have to wait long, boys and ladies and gentlemen, because on this night, well, after the match, Renee Young came into the ring, and she basically put Nakamura on the spot, and she says, "Have you made a decision? Which champion are you going to challenge? Are you going to challenge the Universal Champion from Monday Night Raw, or are you going to challenge the WWE Champion from SmackDown Live? Well, you heard the crowd. You knew who the crowd wanted. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get it. On Sunday night, April the 8th, mark your calendars, April 8th, Mercedes-Benz Superdome, New Orleans, Louisiana, WrestleMania 34. Can you believe it? We thought this was like going to be like a pipe dream or something. We thought this was going to be we thought this was going to be a dream, and we thought that there was no way Vinnie Mac and the Suits were ever going to listen to us. Wink, wink. But by golly, for once they actually listened to us, and we're going to get it. Shinsuke Nakamura is going to challenge the phenomenal AJ Styles for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. If you thought Johnny Gargano and Andrade Cien Almas from TakeOver last night was a 5-star Shakespearean drama match of the year candidate, what AJ and Nakamura are going to do at WrestleMania is going to make that match look like an absolute dud. That's all I'm going to say. Holy crap. Somebody slap me right now. Is this a dream? That's all I can say. 4.5 to 5 stars. Fight of the night. Incredible Rumble. Quick stats. Finn Balor and Shinsuke Nakamura tied for the most eliminations with 4 apiece. And Finn Balor was the Iron Man in this match. According to Michael Cole, he lasted 57 and a half minutes. Number 1 position. And man alive, I mean, kudos to the effort of all these men. I mean, for so long. Well, actually, according to Wikipedia, it says that Finn Balor was in there for 58 minutes and 31 seconds. MF is right about Nakamura, 44:04. I stand corrected. It was Finn Balor and Roman Reigns who tied for most eliminations, 4 eliminations apiece. Nakamura did have 3. Cena had 3. And, just to get that out of the way. But all I can say, ladies and gentlemen, is I strongly recommend you go back and watch this Royal Rumble match, because this is a Rumble match we're going to be talking about for years to come. For the last few years, the Royal Rumble, you think back to 2014 and 15, those 2 Rumbles left bad tastes in our mouths. But then again, you could say the same thing about 16 and 17 as well, because of the outcomes. I mean, but we still got outcomes we didn't really want to see, with Triple H winning the title 2 years ago, Randy Orton winning it. So, yep, and there it is, ladies and gentlemen. 10 weeks from tonight, we're actually going to get the dream match. I never thought Vince McMahon and the Suits would actually, for once, shut up and actually listen to us and everyone in the internet wrestling community. This is an IWC dream fight if there ever was one. This will be the most anticipated IWC dream match in WWE since CM Punk and Daniel Bryan had their epic series of matches in 2012. I can say right now, this is going to be, for me, I consider these 2 the modern day Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat. And I think there's nothing for me to say except this match at WrestleMania, I'll go as far as to say it's going to make those Flair Steamboat classics look like duds. That's all I can say. Last year at WrestleMania, we had the single most disappointing WWE Championship match in history with Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. With all due respect, MF. I mean, nothing against SmackDown Live or anything, but that match last year was god-awful, terrible. The special effects made it even worse. But you want to get the bad taste out of our mouths of that? That's how you do it, right there in that screenshot. I don't know what else there is to say. This goes into my top 5 for sure. No doubt about it. Do I consider it the greatest? No. I still consider 92 the greatest. But then again, that's my all-time favorite Royal Rumble match. But this just went into my top 5 here tonight. Great Rumble, great booking, great action, Shakespearean drama at its finest, and you gave the fans a moment. I think this makes up for Gargano coming up short last night. Because if Gargano had won that last night, that thing would have. Oh my God, what would have happened if Gargano had won that? Nothing more for me to say. 4.5 to 5 stars. Fight of the night, and one of the greatest Royal Rumbles, and one of the best ones I've seen in a very, very long time. Well done, WWE. For once, you actually did something right. Not just with how you laid out the bout, but with the outcome as well. Phenom Michael Bullock, I don't know what else there is to say, man. I mean, how on earth do you follow that? How on earth?
I don't even know how I can follow that. I mean, I agree. This was a 4.5 to 5-star Royal Rumble match. I mean, this was just freaking awesome. I mean, Finn Balor, he basically lasted the longest in the match, and but to me, yes, he impressed me, but the one surprise superstar that really impressed me the most, I don't know if you guys would agree with me on this, but the NXT champion, Andre Cien Almas. I mean, he lasted 26 minutes in that in the Royal Rumble match, and this was after he had over a 30-minute match for the NXT title the night before against Johnny Gargano. I mean, did you guys ever think that he was going to last this long after a grueling match he had last night? I certainly didn't think so. But man, I mean, Almas has got nothing to be ashamed of, and I'm going to tell you what, I mean, sometime this year, he's going to be on that main roster. I'll tell you this right now. But the only question is, would he be on Raw or SmackDown Live? I know Michael Fletcher is hoping that he ends up on SmackDown Live so he can see his other favorite, the beautiful Zelina Vega. But man, great to see Rey Mysterio back. I mean, I was just so happy to see him, and yes, Shinsuke Nakamura ends up winning it. WWE, to me, did the right thing here. I know I said I wanted Roman Reigns to win it, but for once, I was actually happy that I'm wrong. And then for him to say he wanted to challenge AJ Styles at WrestleMania, I was like, yes, yes, yes. 1,000, no, not 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times, yes. I mean, the history with these two in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and now you're going to see these two go at it on the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania. I'm going to say it right now, and I don't care if I get criticized for it. This is definitely going to be the fight of the night, and I'm going to say right now, this is going to be your fight of the year for 2018. I don't care what anybody else says. I'm already calling it. So 4.5 to 5 stars, a great Royal Rumble match, to say the very least. So, yeah, so there's really nothing more to say. So, Fletch, I mean, what do you say? We're getting that dream match at WrestleMania.
That's what
I think
you
that
need
picture.
to say.
I think that picture pretty much says it all.
Shut up. Take my money. WWE Network, New Orleans, anybody around the world, get your butts down to the box office at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome right now and get whatever tickets are left for WrestleMania, because, ladies and gents, it just got real. That's all you need to say.
And that's why I'm saying, Fletch, this is going to be the fight of the night, and I'm calling it right now, fight of the year for 2018.
Well, I don't know about fight of the year. I mean, you definitely can make an argument that this was indeed the fight of the night. I mean, this was.
No. I meant for WrestleMania.
Well, okay, now, there's still some other fights that still needs to be done, but without a doubt, the SmackDown Live has hit the gold mine. I mean, you could not have written a better match for WrestleMania, because now you got literally from tonight is January 28th, 2018. You got from now until April 8th to set this baby up. You got till April 8th to get all that storyline together, do whatever angles you want to work with, and you build this thing. You don't really need much to build Nakamura versus AJ, because if they should decide to go down the road and reminisce a little bit. Now, I don't know if they will, because, to do a New Japan thing, but if they bring that up, the fans will remember that fight. Now, it's going to be really tough to top that fight, because let me tell you, a lot of insiders call that fight the fight of the night, and not only that, but one of the best matches they've ever seen in professional wrestling. It got Fight of the Year honors as well. So we will have to wait and see what the takeaway is for that event, because let me tell you, you pull that trigger and you go down that road, without a doubt, this could go down as the Fight of the Year. Because right now, we had 2 5-star classics last night on NXT TakeOver Philadelphia. Andres Almas versus Johnny Gargano, Aleister Black versus Adam Cole in the Extreme Rules fight. Plus, Wrestle Kingdom, you had a damn near 5-star classic with Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega. Where does that line get drawn when you got Nakamura and AJ Styles? If I'm a SmackDown guy right now, this is that moment where you literally have pulled yourself off the mat, because you were getting buried for a little while because of Monday Night Raw, and you now have an opportunity to start swinging back at the red brand, and you can revitalize yourself and maybe even reestablish yourself as one of the top brands in WWE. And let me tell you, there's a lot of SmackDown fans around here, not just myself, not just Michael Bullock. A lot of fans on SmackDown has been rooting for them to get themselves off the mat. Please do not bring any of that Shane McMahon, Daniel Bryan garbage to this WrestleMania. Well, at least to this fight. Tell the story, build it the right way. Do not let the shenanigans get involved, and just let these two just do what they do. Now, Nakamura's got to work on his promos. We all agree. But if you just let them fight, I swear to you guys, you're going to have over 70,000 fans yell, "Fight forever." And let me tell you, I wanted Styles and Nakamura to fight forever when they fought at Wrestle Kingdom 10 for the IWGP Intercontinental title. And they fought for over 30 minutes. Imagine what they're going to get for WrestleMania. All right. We need to take a minute. We got to cool down. And after that electrifying moment, then we had on Monday Night Raw, the Raw side of it, Cesaro and Sheamus versus Jason Jordan and Seth Rollins for the Raw Tag Team Championship. The winners of the bout in 12 minutes and 49 seconds. And the new Raw Tag Team Champions, they don't set the bar, they are the bar. New Tag Team Champions, Cesaro and Sheamus. They've done it. They get the belts back. Anthony Florio, it is all yours, my friend.
Oh, I love Monday Night Raw. I really do. But I'm sorry. I got to call it. This was one of, if not the worst fight of the night, to be quite honest. I can only give it 2 stars. I mean, it was pretty good. I mean, Seth Rollins, credit to Seth Rollins, man. I mean, I gained a new amount of respect for Seth Rollins tonight. I mean, I can see why Derek Ferrer has been so high on this guy for the last few years, ever since the heist of the century. But he worked his ass off tonight, man. He really did. And they told a good story. But the thing is, the crowd was dead. And why not? I mean, the Royal Rumble match wore them out. Not just the Rumble match, but Nakamura winning it absolutely wore, and that doubly wore him out. But perfect cool down fight. I'll give him that. This was this was the perfect place to put this fight. You want to talk about a cool down fight? There's no better way you could have cooled the fans off. You could have cooled that rowdy crowd off in Philly than to bring out the Mr. Cool Down himself, Jason Jordan. But there is a backstory to this. I'll get into that in just a moment. But the fans, I mean, they were burnt out and they didn't care about anything they did here, which is a damn shame. I mean, I like the idea behind it, as it could really add to Jordan's future heel turn. He could blame Rollins for the loss, and it also served to cover his injury. And unfortunately, it just didn't work. It felt hard to watch. I mean, the silence killed it. I mean, the crowd was damn near sitting on their hands. Had it taken place earlier, I think the crowd would have added to Rollins' babyface fighting alone story, and that could have added a ton to this. I mean, you could have put it earlier, but there was no better way you could have cooled the crowd off after that epic Rumble match than this. I mean, now, like I said, there is a backstory to this, and from what I am hearing, Jason Jordan is actually nursing an injury. He's nursing, from what I'm hearing, some sort of a back injury. I mean, I have to. Okay, I got the story right here. A new report suggested that the reason why they put the bar over was because Jordan is nursing a back injury, and it prevented him from taking any bumps during a house show in Baltimore, Maryland last night. And they only hit a single move, which was a clothesline. And according to Sportskeeda, this was why Jordan and Rollins were booked to lose the Raw titles to the Bar. And during this event, Jordan was out of action for the vast majority of the match when he was shoved head first into the steel post. So that's the backstory behind that. I think if it wasn't for the injury, I think there's a good chance Rollins and Jordan could have retained, but it's because of this injury that they had no choice but to put the titles back on the Bar. So one of the worst fights of the night. You can easily make an argument for worst fight of the night. You know what? I'll call it. This was the worst fight of the night. 2 stars. That's all I can give it. So, wish Jason Jordan the best. I don't know if this is going to be if he's going to have to miss time for this, but we'll find out. But 2 stars, worst fight of the night. Michael Bullock. I mean, there was no better way you could have cooled off that rowdy crowd after that unbelievable and epic moment.
And I believe I got this one right.
Yeah, you did. You did.
Yeah. I mean, this was definitely a cool down fight, and yeah, I'll give it 2 stars for the effort. And yeah, I mean, the crowd was definitely worn down after that great Royal Rumble match, and of course Shinsuke Nakamura going over. So I'll definitely give WWE credit for that. So yeah, yeah, there's really nothing more to say on it. So 2 stars is my rating as well. So Dee Woodson, if you have anything to say on it, feel free.
I'll agree, 2 stars. I'm not gonna say much else on it.
All right, guys, and the next fight that we had was for the Raw side, the Universal title to be contested in a triple threat match. Brock Lesnar with his advocate, Paul Heyman, against Kane and Braun Strowman. The winner of the bout in 10 minutes and 55 seconds. And yes, I hear a couple of broken hearts here in East Providence, Rhode Island, because there is no joy in Mudville. They wanted Strowman to win the title. They thought this was going to be the moment. Well, even though we all agreed that maybe Lesnar goes over, Brock Lesnar is still your reigning, defending, undisputed WWE Universal Heavyweight Champion. And as of now, he's on his way to WrestleMania. Lesnar wins. Michael Bullock, I know you wanted Strowman, but give me your thoughts, my friend.
Well, I wanted Strowman.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted Strowman to win, but I think this comes as no surprise. I mean, we all had Brock Lesnar winning this match, so this comes as no surprise whatsoever. But I'll tell you what, somewhere down the line, Braun Strowman will get his moment. Somewhere down the line. So I'll give it about 2.25, 2.5 stars as my rating on the match. I mean, it was good for what it was. So yeah. So there's really nothing more to say on it. So I'm just gonna pass it off to Dee Woodson here.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised, wasn't impressed. I'm going to give it probably about another 2 stars. I mean, to me, it just seemed like it was a Lesnar squash match because he pretty much destroyed the outside of the ring. So not much more I'm going to have to say about it. So Flory will take it.
Second worst fight of the night. 2 to 2.5. That's the best I can give this. It was an okay plunder brawl, but the crowd was still largely dead. I mean, it went a little too long, and there was really no real Shakespearean drama in terms of Lesnar losing, because he has to be strong for the big dog's latest coronation, if you know what I mean. So, second worst fight of the night. I say second worst fight of the night because, you know, the Hoss stuff, the Be a Man stuff. I mean, there was some good brawling. I mean, there were some good brawl spots, a couple of, oh my God, spots all of Joey Styles and MF, but that's what saved that from being the worst fight of the night. So 2.25, 2.5. That's the best I can give it. So not a good night for the Raw side, but the outcome of this next match more than makes up for it in MF. A history-making moment. I never thought I'd see the day that this next match would end up being the main event. I prayed for it, and praise God for listening to my prayer on this. I wanted this so bad for them, and I got it.
You did get it. It was the women's Royal Rumble match that started that, you know, we made history, and it was history. No doubt about it. It started with Sasha Banks from Monday Night Raw and Becky Lynch of SmackDown Live. How awesome is that? 2 very unbelievable, dominating women, and they started it. Number 3 was Sarah Logan. Number 4, Mandy Rose. Number 5, only Dee Woodson's favorite female wrestler of all time, Lita, Amy Dumas. Number 6 was Kairi Sane from NXT. Number 7, Tamina. Number 8, Dana Brooke. Number 9, Tori Wilson. Number 10 was Sonya Deville. Number 11, Liv Morgan. Number 12, another surprise, Molly Holly. Number 13 was Lana. Number 14, Mrs. Undertaker herself, Michelle McCool. Number 15 was Ruby Riott. Number 16, Vicky Guerrero. How awesome was to see her. Number 17 was Carmella. Number 18, Natalia. Number 19, Kelly Kelly. Number 20 was Naomi. Number 21, Jacqueline Moore. Number 22, Nia Jax. Number 23, Ember Moon from NXT. Number 24, the Glamazon, Beth Phoenix. Number 25, Asuka. 26, Mickie James. 27 was Nikki Bella. 28 was Brie Bella. 29 was Bayley. And number 30, many people were thinking that it was going to be Ronda Rousey. It was not. It was Trish Stratus, number 30 in the Royal Rumble. But wait. All right, let's go into the order of elimination. Mandy Rose was the first one knocked out as she was eliminated by Lita. Tamina, the second one out because of Lita. Then Lita got eliminated by Becky Lynch. Sorry, Dee. I know you're probably mad at me for that one. Number 4 was Kairi Sane, eliminated by Dana Brooke. Hey, props to Dana. Gets a big elimination there. Got the winner of the Mae Young Classic out. But Dana Brooke did get eliminated by Tori Wilson. Then Tori got eliminated by Sonya Deville. Then Molly Holly eliminated Sarah Logan, and then it turned into the Michelle McCool show. Michelle McCool responsible for Sonya Deville, Liv Morgan, Molly Holly, and Lana all to be eliminated in the fight. Vicky Guerrero just got eliminated by a whole bunch of people. I'm not even going to list that. Then Natalya eliminated Michelle McCool. Come in. Ruby Riott eliminated Becky Lynch. And then Nia Jax went on a tear as she eliminated Jacqueline, Kelly, Ruby Riott, and Naomi. Then we had Natalya eliminating Beth Phoenix in the 19th position. And then in one of the more cooler moments of the Royal Rumble night, it was Asuka versus Ember Moon. I think we all remember that awesome battles they had in NXT. Asuka eliminates Ember Moon in the 20th position. Carmella got eliminated in the 21st position, thanks in part by Nikki Bella. Then Mickie James and Trish Stratus got a little bit of a battle and a war at it, and that was an awesome moment, to say the very least. Trish eliminates Mickie in the 22nd position. Then everybody ganged up on Nia Jax. Nia gets eliminated in the 23rd position. Then in one of the more talked about moments, and a lot of people are going to be talking about this, it was Sasha Banks eliminating Bayley in the 24th. I think Charlotte Flair's facial expression said the whole story. Her jaw hit the floor. She was stunned what just happened there. Then Trish Stratus eliminates Natalya in the 25th position. Sasha Banks eliminated Trish Stratus in the 26th position. Then the Bella Twins teamed up on Sasha, eliminates her in the 27th spot. Nikki turns on her own sister Brie with the forearm shiver a la from the SummerSlam a few years ago. And it was down to Asuka and Nikki Bella. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the first ever Women's Royal Rumble match, and to go to WrestleMania, it was the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka, to basically no big surprise, not much fanfare on this one. Asuka getting 3 eliminations in the match to win the entire Rumble. And you're thinking, okay, the show's over, right? Not so much. The next thing we had was both the champions who were at ringside, Alexa Bliss representing Monday Night Raw, Charlotte Flair from SmackDown Live. They both went into the ring, and they both had their belts. They both raised it, looking at, Asuka mulling over her decision, and then Ronda Rousey came out. That's right. She came out. She is now officially with WWE, and the breaking news is that Ronda Rousey has signed a full-time contract. She is not just going to be a one-and-done girl. No, she's not. She is going to be wrestling on a full-time basis. Now, we don't know what show she's going to be yet. A lot of rumors and a lot of people believe it's going to be SmackDown Live, that she will be challenging Charlotte Flair, that she will go after Charlotte and the title. If that is the case, thank you, God, for this moment, because this will be the ultimate shot in the arm for Team Blue if Ronda does go to SmackDown. I can't wait for that. So, we don't know Asuka's decision yet. I guess we'll find that out in the next couple of nights, because they're going to be in Philadelphia tomorrow night and Tuesday night. But whatever the case may be, the Empress of Tomorrow has won the Royal Rumble. But more importantly, we got ourselves a new SmackDown women wrestler. Her name is Rowdy Ronda Rousey. And let me tell you, this exploded when the news broke out that she was going to be there. And actually, I have the here. Just give me 1 second, guys, to pull it, because this is very telling. And a lot of people were talking about this, and they were like, was this a one-off? Is this a short-term contract? And she actually confirmed that, no, this is not a short-term contract, that this is a full-time WWE contract, and she signed it today. And what it is, and here it is. Score, and this is also confirmed by ESPN. And it says here, and I quote, this is Ronda words as she talked to Ramona Shelburne about this. It says, "This is my life now. The first priority on my timeline for the next several years. This is not a smash and grab. This is not a publicity stunt." When I met with Triple H, I told him there were other things I can do with my time that will make way more money. I won't enjoy nearly as much, is what she says. She says, it's funny. It's like acting, in that something I've always wanted it to do, but I never thought that it was in the cards. Now that I realized I can really do this opportunity, I felt like my old 6-year-old self would totally kick my ass if I didn't take it. So there it is, guys. The words of Ronda Rousey as she talked to Ramona Shelburne of ESPN in a private conversation. Ronda Rousey is a full-time WWE women's superstar. Dee Woodson, the voice of the women's division. Oh my God.
And then you guys wonder why I did not pick the men's Rumble as fight of the night. You guys can pick that fight of the night if you want. Not me. No, women beat it out, in my opinion. And a lot of it had to do not only with Asuka winning it, but this little segment here at the end. I kind of counted that in on my rating for this match. This was my 4.5 to almost 5-star match. I mean, no, I'm not mad that Becky Lynch knocked out Lita, because I like Becky Lynch as well. But I definitely knew Asuka was going to win this. And some of the participants, no, they weren't a surprise. I knew the Bellas were going to be there, and we all knew Trish was going to be there. You know, but yeah, there was some surprise talent that popped in on this. But wow, I mean, this is definitely, you know, for this to be the very first ever women's Rumble, I mean, they went out there and, I mean, they just pretty much showed you what they had. And although, God forbid, I'm glad Carmella got knocked out, but I don't think I could have handled one more scream out of that woman if my life depended on it. Yeah, Vicky Guerrero was a little bit of a surprise popping in there. Of course, she didn't do anything other than run her mouth, but that's what Vicky was good at, since all she really was a GM, because her wrestling career really wasn't much of anything. But yeah, I thought was a very awesome Rumble for the first time ever for the ladies. I can't wait to see what they come up with already for next year, and what ladies end up being in it. But I'm kind of with Charlotte from the pre-show. You know, it would have been kind of cool to see the women's title holders also in this, and then them, you know, fight each other for the titles in the end too. That would have been kind of cool too. But this I thought was a very, very well put together Rumble match. The fans did seem like they were pretty much into it, and I mean, there was no ring rust from any of the veterans that was out there. They all, pretty much held their own, and yeah, it wasn't a surprise for who the winner was, but having Ronda come out there at the end, and even though she extended her hand to Asuka slapped it away. It was still awesome to see, the look between Charlotte and Ronda, and seeing Ronda go down and shaking Stephanie's hand, even after the one WrestleMania match where she came out with The Rock and, confronted Stephanie. It was still kind of nice to see that, she came out, they shook hands, and, it does look like she's leaning closer to SmackDown because of that little confrontation there with Charlotte. But, we don't know for sure that that's where she's going. But still, this for me was the biggest highlight just because of the fact that it was a lot, even though they didn't build the anticipation for it, it was still there because this was the first ever. This was something every single one of the ladies in the locker room was looking forward to. And just seeing all these different talent from past, present, and, NXT coming in and giving it their all, whether or not they were going to actually end up the winner or not, they still came out there. They still laid it on the table. They still showed you that they are relevant in this division, and that, they proved that they could hold a main event on a pay-per-view. So, hey, in my book, this was the match of the night. So, you guys want to shoot that down, fine. I'm standing by it. I'm not changing my tune. So, I toss it over to Florio.
Oh man, I don't even know how to follow that. I mean, unbelievable. That's all I can say. Yes, second best fight of the night. Another 4.5, teetering on 5. I mean, we'll never forget December 18th, 2017 for as long as I live, for as long as MF lives, and as long as Bullock lives, because we were at the Dunkin' Donuts Center in Providence, Rhode Island, for that Monday Night Raw when Stephanie McMahon made the announcement. And from that night forward, our sides were aching with anticipation for how awesome this fight was going to be. And did it deliver? You damn right it did. Boy, howdy. Wow. I mean, and credit to the women. I mean, they had so much to overcome. A crowd that was dead for the 2 Raw matches after the epic men's Rumble match, and the fact that the guys killed it, and also the fact that this was their first Rumble match and had a ton thrown onto them with all of WWE's making history media blitz. But with all that being said, I felt that they delivered a great match. And again, and Dee Dee mentioned it, the layout and the booking was a big part of it. Sasha Banks working the Iron Woman role and Becky Lynch getting a ton of time helped. And I also think that the way that they set up the surprise appearances and how much time that they gave them, not only the time they gave them, but also some credibility as well. I mean, the crowd was dead coming into it, but between the hard work, the smart use of the past names, and much like the men's Rumble match, who it came down to all really worked. It was a ton of fun and something that I think would have been more appreciated if WWE hadn't beaten us to death with the making history deal. Just let it happen. That's all you got to do. But nonetheless, an amazing night for the ladies, and they delivered. I mean, from the night that Stephanie made the announcement in Providence, where me, MF, and Bullock were right there when we saw when it happened. We marked out from that moment. We knew this was going to be something special, and damn it to hell, they made it special. That's all there is to say on that. And believe it or not, Michelle McCool, wow, unbelievable. She led the way with elimination. She had 5 eliminations in this match. Nia Jax, Nikki Bella, and Sasha each had 4. And then rounding it out, Natalya and Trish with 3. And then Asuka, Becky Lynch, Brie Bella, Lita, and Ruby Riott with 2 eliminations apiece. And then with 1 elimination apiece, Bayley, Dana Brooke, Molly Holly, Sonya Deville, Tori Wilson. Alicia Fox was supposed to be in this match, but she suffered an injury at the 11th hour. So Fox, unfortunately, had to pull out due to injury, which was a shame, but, it is what it is. But great to see the legends. Tori Wilson still looks amazing. Kelly looks amazing. Michelle McCool, one of my 2 all-time favorites. The other, of course, both of my 2 all-time favorites were in this match. Michelle McCool and Trish Stratus. My heart raced when both showed up because I've had love affairs with those 2. MF knows all about that, especially Trish. Back in the day, when MF and I used to do commentary, every time I would see Trish, I would lose my mind and I would just yell out, MF! And that would have been a perfect commentary spot if we were doing it. I would have said, for old time's sake, MF. And then, like, yes, Hitman, there she is. Your all-time favorite. And there she was, Trish Stratus. My God, she looked amazing. She hasn't lost a step either. And I got to give credit to WWE for allowing, the past women to not only get some more time, but to also get some eliminations as well. I thought they were going to, just be there for like a few minutes and, leave it to the current crop. But no, they gave them not only some time, but Michelle McCool. Like I said, Michelle McCool is the one who impressed me the most. 5 eliminations. Give it up for her. She's still flawless. That's all there is to say on that. And Trish looked great. Beth Phoenix looked great. Beth Phoenix looks amazing. She still looks like she could go. But if this was a one-off for her, it was. I love the spot with her and Natalya. Y'all know the history with her and Natty. The besties, the Divas of Doom, and that was a fun spot. And Molly Holly, Molly looks amazing. The Molly go around, I like that little spot. She got an elimination as well, and Bullock's original pick, Nia Jax. Bullock originally was going with Nia Jax for the longest time, and for a while she made Bullock look good, but it took 5 or 6 women just to get her out. You knew they were going to do that with her. I had a feeling it was going to come down to that spot, but just like with the men, they booked this thing to perfection. They booked it to perfectly, and everybody got a chance to shine. The outcome was never in doubt. We knew it was going to be Asuka, unless of course Ronda came in at number 30. Then it would have been Ronda all the way. But I'm glad that they saved that for the end. And Trish Stratus, perfect number 30. The Diva of the Decade, the Hall of Famer. No better. You couldn't have put anybody better as the number 30 entrant. That's all I can say on that. They booked that one perfectly as well. So congratulations, women. You did it again. Very impressive. And you showed why tonight you deserved that spot. That's all there is to say on that. You deserve that spot. Not just the revolution, but the evolution continues. And Ronda Rousey now in WWE, and yes, for all intents and purposes, it looks like she is going to be heading to SmackDown Live. And I think we can book her and Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's title at WrestleMania. Just like I can also see Asuka going after Alexa Bliss and the Raw Women's Championship. So get ready for WrestleMania, folks, because WrestleMania 34 is going to be an historic night. You thought the last time they were in New Orleans was the greatest one ever? This one could actually top it. That's all I can say. So solid 4.5. No question about it. This was the second best fight of the night by a smidge. No disrespect. They put on an amazing show, but I just felt by a smidge that the men's match was just a little bit better. That's all I can say. Just a little bit, not a whole lot. 1A, 1B. That's pretty much it. So great job. Kudos again. So nothing more to say on this. So Michael Bullock, outcome was never in doubt, but damn it to hell, the women they showed why they deserved this spot tonight. Boy, did they deliver.
Oh, they certainly did, and they certainly deserve a lot of credit. And you know what? After, after thinking it through, I'm actually going to pull the trigger and say co-fight of the night. And this was about another 4.5 to 5. I mean, this was just. I mean, it's hard to pick one over the other. I mean, I thought both the men's and the women's Royal Rumble match really impressed me. And I mean, all of these women who competed tonight, they should be proud of themselves. They made history once again. And Asuka now going to be going to WrestleMania. And that moment with Ronda Rousey, now a full-time participant in the women's division in WWE. Boy, I certainly cannot wait to see how that goes. So there's really nothing more to say. Co-fight of the night. 4.5 to 5 stars. So there's really nothing more to say. Fletch, let's move on to overall thoughts on this Royal Rumble.
Yes, indeed. There's really nothing more to say. There's nothing that I can add to this that has not been said, that has not been used. History was made. History was indeed made here tonight in Philadelphia. The Philadelphia, you killed it. You represented. I know you guys kind of got a little worn out because many of you probably went to last night's NXT show and had an incredible night, and now this. The Royal Rumble event, and now we are firmly on the road to WrestleMania 34, and a lot of questions are gonna have to be asked. First off, status of the Universal title. Well, Lesnar is the champion. We don't have a challenger because SmackDown won the men's Royal Rumble. We need to know about that. Then we also got to figure out what's Asuka gonna do, who's she gonna challenge for the title, and what is Ronda Rousey's now involvement, what she brings to the table. Obviously, there's a lot of rumors, and I think we can etch in stone. Alexa Bliss versus Asuka, Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair. But the one question that I have, the star power of Ronda Rousey and the legendary name of the Flair family and Charlotte Flair, is it actually enough to do the unthinkable and give them the main event of WrestleMania? Even though I think we all can agree that maybe the main event should be Nakamura versus AJ Styles, because that's a dream fight in itself, and we know the expectation is so high that 5 stars might not even be enough for that fight. But Anthony, you said something not too long ago that wasn't so far-fetched, because you asked, you pled, you were begging WWE to give the women the main event spot for the Royal Rumble, and they did it. They pulled the trigger and they gave you that.
Praise God.
Now I must ask you, point blank,
Dude.
Your main event for WrestleMania, is it Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair, or AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura?
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, MF, but I don't think it's going to be either. I think it's going to be Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar myself.
Oh,
Not because I'm a Raw guy at all. But you know Vinnie Mac in the suits. I mean, okay, they listened to us tonight. Yes, they did. They listened to us tonight by not only having Nakamura win the Rumble, but also already confirming Nakamura and AJ. Now, I'm going to be real honest with you. Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles should, keyword should, be the main event of WrestleMania 34. Roman has already had his moments. He's main evented the last 2 WrestleManias. They obviously want to, he's obviously the chosen one to be the next Universal Champion. You know they're gonna feed Brock Lesnar to the big dog. There's no question about that. But I would love to see the women main event WrestleMania. Honestly, that would be great too. I wouldn't have a problem with that either. But my gut is telling me Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar is going to be in the main event of WrestleMania 34 and have Roman standing tall at the end again. But I'm going to lead a prayer here tonight. A small one. They answered it once. Well, they answered it twice tonight. Not only with Nakamura winning, but having the women's Rumble main event. And all that is for the love of God, for the love of mankind. Vinnie Mac in the suits and all you suits out there in Stamford, Connecticut, listen to us here tonight. The main event of WrestleMania 34 should not be Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. It can be one of the main events, absolutely. It can be the Raw main event of WrestleMania, absolutely. But if you wanna send the fans home happy, the best possible way to do it would be to have Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles for the WWE Championship. That, more than anything else, should be the main event of WrestleMania 34.
And don't forget your saying, Florio, that you always like to say, a main event that'll definitely put some butts in the seats and eyes on the screen.
Hallelujah to that.
You really think Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns is going to put some butts in the seats and eyes on the screen as a main event of WrestleMania?
Well, they did go that well back in 31, and it was a very good match.
But doing it a second time would just rub me the wrong way.
No, because at this point in the history of it, yes, I get it. They want to make Roman the guy, and they want to make him the biggest name out there. But let me say it. Cena he wasn't the main event of a few WrestleManias, and they gave him the moment. I don't mind if they do give Roman and Lesnar the fight, fine, fair enough, but don't let it be the main event.
No.
I think that's the thing we're asking. You could give it one of the final 4 fights of the night or one of the final 3 fights of the night. You could push it all the way back, because, 4-hour show. So you can give us, maybe have that at the end of the 3rd hour leading into the final hour of WrestleMania. I don't mind that. We just do not want this to be the fight that brings down the curtain on WrestleMania. I think that's the biggest thing that we're saying is that we want it to be a main event caliber match, but just don't let it be the main event of WrestleMania.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of people upset.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Especially in the IWC, they would have a field day and not in a good way.
Oh yeah.
But I just got this bad feeling that Vinnie Mac's going to want Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns to close out. I just got this bad feeling.
That's my gut feeling. Although my heart's telling me Nakamura and AJ. That's my heart talking.
Because
I'm pleading with WWE right now. Please put AJ Styles and Nakamura as the main event of WrestleMania. Please.
If you do a poll, and I'm gonna say this, and I know WWE will never listen to us, but honestly, if you put a poll up of what the most likely scenario or what match we would like to see as the main event of WrestleMania, I guarantee you, WWE, we're all gonna say the same. It's gonna be the phenomenal AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the WWE Championship. I wish they make the rule, and I'm gonna say this, I wish they went back to that rule by saying that the winner of the Royal Rumble be in the main event of WrestleMania.
Close it.
You have to close that loophole, because if you remember, in the last few years, either you put it not in the main event, and as crazy as it sounds, a couple of those WrestleManias, the Royal Rumble winner was the first fight of the night.
Del Rio was.
Del Rio was the first fight. He started WrestleMania.
27.
And don't forget Sheamus.
Yeah.
28.
So.
And last year, Randy Orton was not even in the main event. Who main evented? It was Roman and The Undertaker.
Yeah. So.
And that wasn't even a title match.
And it wasn't even a title fight either. No. So we will wait and see what happens. It's time for the overall review. Dee Woodson, I'm gonna put it to you. My dear, give me a rating about this year's Royal Rumble.
I'm going to give it 8 out of 10. Just because of the fact that most of the matches on the main card delivered. Most of them were very, very well done. Yeah, the middle section, which unfortunately was dished out to Raw, a little lackluster, but of course they were also in between 2 Rumble matches. And most of us knew the Lesnar match wasn't going to be much of anything anyway, because we all knew Lesnar's going to win it. But, I mean, still, the show as a whole, it delivered. It gave you pretty much what you expected for a pay-per-view. It continued the storylines, plus the 2 Rumble matches did deliver. And even though I still disagree about which one was the top match, it doesn't matter. Both matches gave you the satisfaction of what the performers had to offer. You know, I think my biggest gripe out of the men's thing is, why in the hell did you put Ziggler as 30? That didn't make any sense. He wasn't really, yeah, none of us really expected him to be there, but still, I mean, that he didn't deserve that surprise element that you usually get from whoever number 30 is. And we all knew he wouldn't have won anyway. So it was, that's one of the lacklusters of the men's part, but that is what it is. Still, they both delivered. They both were right there on top. Bullock probably has it the best way, saying that they're co. You can lean either way if you want to, or you can say co-fight of the night. It doesn't matter. They're both right there on top. They both stole the show. You have some of the other matches there that are really high up on the totem pole, but almost every single one of them delivered with what they said they were going to give us. And whether you liked the way it ended or didn't like the way it ended, they still kept your attention. The fans were into most of the matches. I was even surprised in the women's match. Lana came out and they were all chanting Rusev Day. Or Nikki came out and they're all chanting Cena sucks. Or Brie comes out and everybody's doing the yes. Just because of who their significant other is. It was, the fans still got into the matches, and they delivered. Whether or not you want to say it was better than NXT TakeOver, that's a whole different story. But both pay-per-views, in my opinion, both delivered. They both gave the fans exactly what they wanted, minus those 2 little Raw matches there. I mean, the pay-per-view itself, very well done. So, yeah, I'm going to shoot with the 8 out of 10.
And that's probably about all I'm going to say about it. So, Florio, take it.
Yeah. Solid. Yeah. I mean, 8 out of 10. That is a. But for me, I got a smidge lower. I'm gonna go between 7.25 to 7.5 out of 10. I mean, the 2018 Royal Rumble was an overall good show with some good stuff early after the kickoff matches rather, and 2 very good and wonderful and great Rumble matches. The card layout of the men's Rumble in the middle hurt the Raw Tag Team and Universal title matches, but the women's Rumble was able to recover due to hard work, a great layout of past stars, and match structure overall. I felt this show was a lot of fun to watch, and it was nice to see a major pay-per-view not crap the bed for once after a great takeover show, and I do mean great, especially after that main event, if you know what I mean. But and what else is there for me to say on this except for this? The men's Rumble was slightly better. I mean, both Rumbles were entertaining, and it was and let me just sum it up as only I can. Rumble match was the fight of the night. That's all there is to say there. There was very good Shakespearean drama once the match got down to the final 4, and then especially the final 2, and Nakamura going through the 2 most polarizing figures in WWE just to get there, to get rid of Cena and Roman to win it. Genius. Brilliant. So, and it was great use of Roman in that he's the least popular person with the live crowd, which was clearly pulling for Nakamura. And it's nice when WWE actually pleases their fans instead of fighting them. And I have no doubt that Roman will still be challenging Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship at WrestleMania. I'm just glad that they didn't have him take the Rumble path to get there, because you got a Raw exclusive Elimination Chamber event next month, which he's obviously going to win, as you know. Oh, and we're 70 days away from AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura stealing the damn show. Nothing more to say there. Second best was the Women's Rumble. I mean, as far as the Rousey thing goes, WWE threw ESPN a bone, as the story Michael Cole was referencing was the report that Rousey has indeed signed full-time with WWE. And the angle, while it wasn't bad, it was not as hot as I thought it would be. And it will certainly generate some mainstream buzz for the company, which they wanted. Very much enjoyed the Women's Rumble. I get that they put it on last because of the historic theme they played up and because of Ronda Rousey's appearance, but I slightly enjoyed the Men's Rumble match more. Both were entertaining, and it was fun to see some of the female legends back in the ring. And I do have to question why they felt the need to have some of the Rumble surprises as part of the 25th anniversary of Monday Night Raw. But I would probably say third best fight would probably go to the after careful review, I probably would say maybe the handicap match now goes to the third best fight of the night spot. And as much as I hated the idea of Owens and Zayn as co-challengers, it was an entertaining match. And the idea was Zayn never tagged Owens, and therefore AJ pinned the illegal man. In other words, that's not over yet. So that's all there is to say on that. SmackDown tag titles, even though the crowd was lifeless during the match, the in-ring action was solid. And it was more of a case of creative not doing nearly enough to get Benjamin and Gable heat or even over as a team going into it. The Universal fight follows that because of the epic spots during that. The crowd came back to life for it. They weren't red hot, but the Rumble hangover was starting to wear off. The effort was there from all three. Just hard to shake the feeling of predictability. But then again, it has been all year when it comes to Vinnie Mac's build to Lesnar Reigns too. So that's all there is to say there. Raw Tag Team titles. Worst fight of the night. The live crowd was wiped out from the Rumble match, and they never got into it. And it's hard not to feel bad for those guys because they all deserve better. But you can't blame the crowd in that case either. So, long story short, it was a long yet entertaining show. Tag matches didn't come off well for different reasons, but the overall show and both Rumble matches were definite crowd pleasers. And you pleased this crowd here tonight. So, well done indeed. So, I'm going between 7.25 to 7.5 out of 10. Very good Royal Rumble. No doubt about it. NXT was better, yes. We knew it would be, especially that 5-star with Gargano and Almas. But man alive, that's all there is to say on that. Let the road to WrestleMania begin. AJ and Nakamura. That's all there is to say. How about it, Bullock? 7.25, 7.5 for me. I don't know about you.
I'm actually going to give it an 8 out of 10 as well. I mean, but I do agree the NXT takeover was just a little bit better, but I thought both Rumble matches delivered. I mean, the only matches that really disappointed were from the Raw side, the Raw tag team titles and the Universal titles. So, but other than those two, I thought the other matches really delivered. So, 8 out of 10 is my rating. So, let's just put a bow on this on our recap.
Yes, indeed, and we will indeed do that. Tomorrow night is another edition of Ridiculously Raw, as we will definitely be getting into the road to WrestleMania on the Raw side, the fallout from last night's Rumble, and more importantly, what is next for the WWE Universal title, and more importantly, Asuka's decision. What is she going to do is she going to challenge for the Raw title? Is she challenging for the SmackDown title? We got to wait to see. Could there be a Ronda Rousey sighting tomorrow night? Because she is full-time now, so we'll wait and see. And then Tuesday night is the Cerebral Smack Talk. I am trying to work around to see what time I'm going to do the show, because they got me working really late this time around. So instead of normally getting out at 10, I'm getting out at 10:30 on Tuesday night, so I might push the show back to possibly 11. So I'll let you guys know, or I might even do it on Wednesday night. Like I said, I'll let you guys know ahead of time what I'm gonna do. I might have to talk to the guys behind the scene, and we'll just take it from there. So, for Anthony Floyo, for Dee Woodson, for Michael Bullock, I am Michael Fletcher. Thank you so much for listening and enjoying this. Let the road to WrestleMania begin. For all of us here, have a good night, everybody, and so long for now. Bye-bye.